We at EVP Mediums never know where an investigation is going to take us. This one had a clear topic: addiction. Every year, 135,000 people die of drug and alcohol addiction. As we say when we talk to the spirits, we're not here to judge you. We're not here to judge you in this life either. If you need help and you need to know where to go, www.aa.org has resources that will help you. Reach out, use those resources, and may God help you on your journey.
As in life, so it is in death. If death is not the end, and our conscience survives the death of the body, then is it not reasonable to assume that the personality of the individual will survive death as well? Sadness, anger, rage, despair, and all other emotions of the personality will linger. In this episode, we investigate a historic building in downtown Akron, Ohio, known for its role in helping those suffering from substance abuse. Could we have possibly captured evidence of the spirits, their personalities, their addictions, and their helplessness? Could the personalities of these spirits be affecting or influencing our clients' emotions? That is the question we set out to explore.
Well, do you think apartment buildings have more spirits from people who've lived there or more spirits who come and go?
I think it's both, depending on the age of the apartment. If it's an older complex, you would have those that live there. But we've seen new apartments that were highly active. And it's one of those that I kind of think, again, that we're dealing with walkers. You know, entertainment value, frequency match, energy. It's hard to say.
Well, this building in particular is in the heart of downtown Akron, I believe.
Wow. Well, that I would imagine would attract a lot of walkers.
Right.
Now, how did this client find you?
She did a search on paranormal groups in the state of Ohio. We're listed on several index reference sites. So she actually found us that way. She found us in a few other groups, and she was calling to see who could come and help her.
And did you have a feeling from your initial interview with her?
Yeah, she sounded normal. She sounded sane. She sounded genuinely frightened. I can hear it in her voice, and I think that's why it's important, even with Easter, that any of us that can go, I'd like to really help her and her family when you're experiencing something of this magnitude, where clothes are being thrown, and sheets are being ripped off a bed, and loud noises coming from the other room. I feel for them, and that's why we kind of make this a priority case. But she sounded, sincere and but genuinely frightened, genuinely worried.
Which is why we're going out there so quickly.
Right.
As with any investigation, there is a certain amount of trepidation upon approach. This building was no exception. Its commanding presence heightened the team's curiosity for what may lie ahead. After the introductions and greetings, the team begins with the client interview.
I think the thing that scared me was my son was sitting on the love seat, and he kept saying that he thought someone was standing in the hallway, which I kept thinking that earlier. And then he said he heard breathing like that.
Heavy breathing.
And then he said it got closer to the lamp, and then he said he tried to lay down and ignore it, and then it got to his ear. And when he went to say mom, he couldn't move. I'm sure you've heard this many times,
Paralyzed.
where you're paralyzed and you can't scream. That's happened to me so many times. And when he finally could sit up to say mom, there was a black mist over my body. And that was it. That's when I decided to call.
Well, when you said that it started about 9 years ago, what happened specifically 9 years ago that kind of drew your attention to it?
Was a lot of my name being said in my ear, that breathing in the bathroom, and I just got to where I just started ignoring it because it happened so often.
Okay.
And then, but I've always seen the running past the doorways, you feel like somebody's behind you, all that. But then recently it's been someone patting my hair, and then I didn't even tell anybody. And my son said that same day he saw the mist, he said, "You're gonna think I'm crazy, Mom." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "It feels like someone's touching my hair." I was like, "You did not just say that, because that was just happened to me."
Okay, so the events that have been happening are mostly physical.
Yeah.
You can actually feel them touching
No, when
you.
my son's room got tore apart, that was another reason I called.
Tell us about what happened with that.
I was home by myself, and I was sitting on the couch, and it sounded like something was just ripping his room apart. And I'd go back there and look, and nothing's moved. I'm like, what is that? So it happened like 3 times. Finally, I just shut his door. And the last time, it was just like furniture was being thrown around back there. And then my son came home, and he came out of his room, and he goes, "What the hell, Mom?" It tore his room apart so bad that the covers on the air conditioner, that was ripped off and bent. His picture was ripped in half on the wall. The closet door, the top thingy got snapped off, and everything in his closet was thrown all over the room. So that's a lot of strength to do that.
Right. Is that one of the more recent events?
Yes.
Okay.
That's another reason I called.
Okay. Is that what led you up to college? What was the
that
final?
and the mist, that was within 2 days of each other.
Okay. And the mist was here in the living room?
It was over my body while I was sleeping, my son said.
Okay. And how do you describe the mist?
He just said it was like a black mist, and he just went like that. He'll tell you.
The presence of a black mist doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil. Because of what we've seen through Hollywood and the multimedia presentations, we tend to identify black with being evil. It could simply be that because of the extreme emotions, the darker emotions, sadness, despair, this is the way the spirit is manifesting itself.
With that being said as well, with your neighbors, has anybody talked to you about experience?
Almost everybody's building will
very
tell you
similar?
that their apartment's haunted.
Everybody in this building?
That I've talked to, yeah.
Okay. Do you know a little bit of history about this building?
I just know that it was built in 1932, and that it was the very first AA meeting was here.
In paranormal research, it is believed that a sudden change in the electromagnetic field or an abnormally high electromagnetic field indicates the presence of spirits. This may or may not be the case. There are many things that can affect one of these meters from going off. The This is a K2, and this is a standard ghost meter, specifically designed for paranormal research. What we do is a baseline sweep when we go onto a property to determine what is normal for that property. And then if we have fluctuations, that is the time we want to get out our tape recorders. That is the time we want to try to do communication with the entities, because if there is a sudden change in that meter, it may indicate the presence of a spirit.
It was the REM pod.
It hasn't gone off since we've been here now. Not since our initial walk-in.
Not since we started filming.
Right. We're in the center of the room, and we are getting EMF spikes that come and go. They fluctuate.
Someone wants us to know they're here.
Yeah. Check that couch again to see if we're getting on to K2. Those could be conduits in the wall.
Where I was getting into was like right here. That's where it was going crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it's right there. It's important that you communicate with us. Any of you that want help, it's very important that you communicate with us. And it sounds like you know what to do, so I'm going to let it go. You want to get names and...
Can you tell me who's here in the apartment with us? Can you tell me your name?
Brian.
Brian?
That's my grandpa. How old are you, Brian?
20? What is your purpose for being in this apartment? We know you're here with us. Our detectors have been going off since we walked in. We're here to help you. We're here to help Shelley. We'd like to get your story. What can you tell us? What do you want us to know? Did you used to live here in the apartment building? Did you attend any of the AA meetings that were held here? Who lives in this apartment here? What's your name?
Who is reaching out to Shelley or been bothering her and touching her? Is there really a demon here?
Can I have the name of whoever's speaking in Shelley's ear? Who's talking in Shelley's ear?
Brian, are you still here? Brian, are you still here?
What can we do for you? Where are you from? Did you die here in this building? their name, please? Who else is here besides Brian?
Peter. Pizza.
Peter?
He's not going.
There seems to be a spirit here who's frustrated, angry. How can we help him? Peter, Jacob, Brian, tell us how to help.
Jerry, if you're here, is there anything you'd like to tell Shelley right now? Jerry, if you're here, are you here to protect us? Jerry, are you of the light?
It's important for you to understand that we really do want to help you as well. This device is a different way to communicate. Hopefully we'll be able to understand you more. I would like to reach out to the woman. A portal. A portal is it's just that. It's a hole. It's a portal, a puncture to the other side. It's believed that there's many ways a portal can be opened. Ouija boards, seances, the dark arts, dark magic. Once a portal is opened, it can be difficult to close. It takes a lot of concentrated energy and effort to seal that portal. But the other thing about portals is once those portals are open, not just human spirits can come through, anything can come through that portal. We don't know what's on that other side. And it's really important in a location where there is a portal to close that portal as quickly as possible. Way to communicate. Hopefully we'll be able to understand you more. I would like to reach out to the woman. Who's the woman there? Who's the woman there? Yeah, that's correct. Ava? My name's David. It's nice to meet you.
It can be tricky to interpret what's being said. In this case, could it be that somebody had a drug addiction and overdosed?
Ava, how many spirits are in this building? Do you have an idea?
Did you say Walker?
Walkers are spirits that are roaming. They're not particularly tied to a place that they may have been born at or lived at. They may be haunting a location and have absolutely no ties there. They may be there because of a frequency match, that someone at that location, their energy signature is matched and very close to theirs, so they're living life vicariously through one of the occupants of the home. They could also be going, especially in an apartment complex, from apartment to apartment, observing what's going on. Walkers are roamers. They go everywhere. They're not, again, like, and they come and go, or they may just pass through one time and never return.
Say Walker?
the spirits that are in the building, who is the most angry that you are aware of? Can you give us his name, please?
Here. Kyle. Yeah. Is it? Oh. Me. Oh. Me.
I heard apple.
Was it apple or apple?
I don't know. Talk to me, guys. Who's here? Are there children here? I need you to say a validation for me, please. Can you say Cedar Point? I need you to say a validation for me, please. Can you say Cedar Point? Right, how about driver's license? Say that, please. Driver's license. Right, how about driver's license? Say that, please. Driver's license. Who is this? You just spoke up. Who's the older gentleman? Son.
Yeah, with the sun.
Who's your son? You're observing? Yeah. Are you watching over the family?
After me.
Who came after you? Is there a presence that the earthbounds or you're afraid of? I'm going to count. Can you tell me the next number when I stop? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good. Very good. Okay, I'm going to go through the alphabet, or I'm going to say the alphabet, and I'm going to stop. Can you say the next letter? L, M, N, O. Okay. Every one of you? Would you be able to organize them and bring them here? You understand that your presence here is having a negative effect on Shelley and her family? Do you understand that? Do you understand that? How many children's spirits are here in this apartment right now?
In many of our investigations, we will use a AM/FM radio like this, old school, to do a manual radio scan. It's something we've developed here at EVP Mediums. The thought process being that if a spirit can manipulate a traditional ghost box or spirit box, they should be able to ride the radio waves as we scan quickly through the FM dial to get their message across to us.
I need to know, I would like to know the names of people that are in this apartment right now.
investigations such as this, where we have a spirit identifying themselves as a demon, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a demon. Typically, a demon is not going to announce itself unless commanded or forced to reveal itself, and there's usually kind of a tussle that goes on in that process. It could very simply be just an old cantankerous spirit, or even, as we heard in this case, another spirit kind of pulling a prank, trying to identify itself as a demon, perhaps maybe to intimidate us, or even to intimidate other spirits that might be present.
I'm reaching out to those of you that are wanting to do the right thing and wanting to help. Tell us what we can do to help Shelley and her family. We're going to try to return with our minister to help you and to help anyone else. Is that what you want? Lisa? How long have you been here, Lisa? Intervention, which would be
Interesting.
a word that would be utilized.
A lot.
I thought I heard addiction at one point, but it could be because I was... Okay.
I think they're trying to throw you out.
Now initiating showcast radio channels.
Who's here with me? Brian is. Brian? Your profanity is not impressing me. Who am I speaking to? Oh, crashed.
So now, you may have noticed that there was a lot of vulgar language, a lot of cussing and swearing going on, and then suddenly our tablet crashed. Is that the result of these entities playing a prank on us, telling us that they don't want us to be there? What was the reasoning all behind it? Or was it just simply a glitch?
My name's David. Who am I speaking to?
I'm in the bottom.
Are you clean?
Are you clean?
Once again, we get another reference to drug addiction.
My name's David. Who am I speaking to?
I'm in the bottom.
Are you clean?
Are you clean?
My son.
Being clean.
First grade is
You.
cool little demons up.
Interested?
Demons.
Big runner.
Who thinks they're a demon here?
That was the honor.
That would be more.
Getting his
Have a name.
Is there a spirit here that's
great. Yeah, I think they're
jonesing?
Is never.
just evil.
It's evil.
We go and
What's his name?
Trying to.
What's your addiction?
right.
Demons.
What's your addiction?
Right.
Demons.
What is your addiction?
Right.
Evil.
Don't care.
No, become. Stability.
Associate.
You have a responsibility.
So bad.
One.
How about a drug user?
If I have.
Would you like to go into the light if we can send you on?
But I do.
Nothing.
Money.
A 7.
There's still
On an art.
well with hospital.
Tim's.
That
Sure, you think it's.
How many of you are here?
I don't know.
I'm Bill.
and you can get
What? I am.
Who's Bill? I'm Bill.
and you can get
What? I am.
Who's Bill?
Why are you hanging out here?
Because they understand.
That's exactly what I heard. What do you understand? Do you
They're trying to. This is a way of communicating their time era. We're hearing the ballroom dancing. There's some 70s in there, but we're also hearing like what we hear during wartime, World War II.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Andrew sisters. Who likes the Andrew sisters here? Yes? Awesome. That's awesome.
Good. Beautiful.
That was a good job.
it keeps them. Witches.
Witches. He's bullshit. He's bullshit. My name is Lenny. Hi, Lenny.
What's your story, Lenny? Shelley,
I heard one thing.
is there anybody here who would like to go to the light?
I would. Who's I? We can send you to the light. Is that what you want?
You're right here, get a smoke detector.
Don't want to go in there?
That room had a strange feel by the closet. It kind of made me stop and pause a minute, and there was just like, I don't know, like a wall of, I don't know, like thickness, like a quagmire, and very much I felt uneasy. And I felt like I really needed to smudge the inside of that closet, but with our client's son not being there, I didn't want to invade his privacy and open those doors. But it did feel like there was a sense of urgency to open those doors and smudge inside that closet. Anything that is not of God or of the light, that means it's handling harm, must leave. Let us know you're leaving.
Somebody's not happy.
So Gary, I know you couldn't be on the investigation, we certainly missed you there, but looking at the evidence and reviewing it, what is your thought? Are we dealing with a demon?
My take on it, from what we've seen, the evidence that we've gathered, I don't think we're dealing with a demon per se. I think there are a lot of angry, streetwise entities that are coming through. The concern with the portal, there could be demonic activity that is happening, but and that's something we'll find out. That's something we'll have to, as we go back, try to find that. I also believe there's a strong man over perhaps that entire complex that is controlling.
Oh, wait a minute, what's a strong man?
A strong man is, and there's biblical reference to that.
The 5-minute version, or the 50-second version.
There's biblical context to a strong man being, like for instance, the Prince of Persia in the book of Daniel, a very higher form and more forceful and stronger form of a demonic entity, and that could be controlling that area because there's such a gathering.
And I think is that not the common misperception though? People think a demon, and they think, okay, a demon can only possess one person. They're not realizing that the demon has the influence of a region. So a spirit of a demon could affect thousands of people worldwide at one time, correct?
Sure could.
Okay.
Sure could. And like I say, the force that Daniel was coming up against was a prince of Persia, an entire region.
Right.
So I have no trouble believing that would be the case there. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
What did you guys think? I mean,
Well, my perception or conception of it as a police officer, I don't believe it was a demon at all. It was your drug pushers, the dealers. They're upset. We're taking their business away from them. What you were in life, you were in death.
now you mentioned something like that to me earlier. I mean, you had the same impression.
Well, when I watched the preliminary here, wherever you have a bunch of addicts collected in normal life, you always have that other element that knows it has customers there. And I just got the feeling as we were going through that we were being pushed. And we were being pushed away, but it just brought up the whole, there's pushers there, and they're there for their customers.
We're in on their territory. They're not like,
Yeah,
that's
they're-
their territory, and we were there invading.
Let me go back.
You know what it reminds me of though? It reminds me of Powerhouse Spirits, where we had a controlling entity in the basement that kept the others there. Do you think we're dealing with something like that?
We could be, and let me go back even and reiterate something about, if you look in the original Greek in the scripture, one of the terminologies used for demon and that type of activity is the word pharmakeia, where we get pharmaceutical drugs. So it would not surprise me, not only that you got this adverse element, the pusher, the drug dealer,
But the influence of it
but
all.
the influence of it all is coming from pharmakeia.
What's interesting to me is too, I don't know if you guys got the same impression that I got, is that the touching of the hair, I'm not sure was evil. I think that may have been her husband or a deceased loved one.
I think it was like a loving
A spirit guide, something. I think the fact that even though there may have been momentary paralysis of her son, okay, this could be effect of the energy around. We know that there's incredibly high EMF fields there. Whether that's natural or paranormal generated, we will know when we do the blessing and crossover if that's subsides. But it's highly possible that the touching of the hair is a matter of caressing or I'm here.
The fact that it happened to
right.
Shelley and her son.
And what did you say?
Well, it seemed like there were other protective spirits there. The Children's Hospital was on the back side of their parking lot. So it's literally right behind us. So when the spirit says the children, they're behind me, I just could picture somebody standing at the doorway with their back towards the hospital with the children behind them
As a
protecting
barrier.
them. I took that to be, they're behind me, I'm keeping them hidden, I'm keeping them away from whatever it is here that's could be
negative
interesting.
And I have to agree too. I don't think that anything that was going on with Shelley was personal. I mean, she did get a message from her husband, which was beautiful. And I'm glad that we were able to help her with that.
Yes.
However, I remember in interviewing her that this activity started right when she moved in. It was 9 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, which tells me, you know, it is nothing personal against Shelley. I would not be surprised if every resident in that building had some kind of activity.
Well, and she
And
made
she even
mention
said
that.
it,
Yeah,
she
she,
said that.
which again would lead me to, hate to keep banging that drum, but if there's a strong man over the area, I mean, it's not just her apartment, it's not
Right.
just her specific isolated situation. This is more broad. And,
Right, which is would have been nice to talk to the maintenance guy
Right.
who
Yeah,
did
I
want
was
to
a
talk
little
to us.
disappointed he didn't stop by. Maybe he'll stop by on our return visit. You know.
So we were able to do two things for the client. We were able to let her know that her husband's watching over her. So that's got to be reassuring
That's
and
powerful.
life affirming,
Right.
because she's really struggled. She feels like she's not the positive person that she has been. And you kind of got that he was trying to tell her.
And not only that, the message was very important, which,
Oh,
yeah. And then the other thing is that it's not personal, and there are things she can do to take the power back. She has the power over this.
Right.
She's got to believe that and act on it.
Right.
So at least we've given her some tools and some things that she can go forward, and, you know, Gary's going to go down there and close the portal. He'll do what he can to push anybody bad back, put them back in their place, and then she's going to have to do that on her own.
and I tell you,
I think she will, though. I think
I-
with her getting that message from her husband,
I think she will.
I
Well,
think that's going to give her an incredible amount of strength. Right
think
now.
of what the
It really
personal
is.
message when you got a personal message,
Yeah,
and how
how it
that
changed my life.
and how it's now
Exactly.
Formed EVP
formed
medium.
EVP mediums.
Right.
Again, I think one of the reasons why we have been successful is because whether people have that faith or not, they tend to have faith in what we're doing. And it's not that we're anything special, but when faith starts kicking in, whether it be in their own ability or their own authority that they've been given, or they're taking a big leap of faith by having us come in with the authority, and they believe what we're doing, I think that's why we've seen success. And I think God honors that, frankly.